homeless thing. Here, take a look in the background. You can see the mega projects in the background.
Yeah, this isn't like an obscure area.
No. These are, by the way, I got these clips are from all over China. It's not just one city or one province. And that's the thing. You can see the fancy buildings in the background, like a stadium or whatever's over there.
Yeah.
You hear the homeless people.
I just think it's such a weird thing to deny. It's like nobody in America would deny that there's homeless people.
No,
right?
in fact,
I don't understand the whole
celebrated.
denial. It's denied to such a degree in China. They must really care about that issue on the surface because, and I think it's one of those situations where you picked on the wrong bully because or you're bullying the wrong person.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they went after America for the homeless problem. America goes, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And then when people are like, wait a minute, I've been to China. I've seen a ton of homeless people. What are you talking about? And the story's flipped. Then they've done this huge state-sponsored propaganda campaign against America. America admits its fault.
Yeah.
Then people go back and ask the same question, like, and they get their influencers.
Yes, exactly.
Go down this main road here.
Yes, exactly.
And film and say, I can't see any homeless people. And you can see it. Like, there wouldn't be a trend of people doing that unless there was some state mandate that has inspired this. Because you saw
Yeah,
that.
can you make a note, just for everyone out there, next time I'm going to show that clip.
Sure.
The shill homeless clip.
Yeah.
Just to give you like a solid
Because
proof.
clearly it's like a mandate.
Yeah, they're told that they're not allowed to see. But if you live stream like that guy did, sometimes you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Anyway, like this particular situation, delivery drivers for Ulama and those kind of things in China, they cannot afford rent. They can't make enough money. So a lot of them are homeless.
Yes.
Like this guy. He's got his delivery bike there. You can see he's got the Meituan helmet. You see the yellow one?
Yeah.
So he's got his uniform and his helmet, and he's sleeping under a bridge in this freezing cold winter setup. And then when he wakes up, he goes and does his delivery. There's another bike there. There's more than one.
There's actually a pretty big problem with homelessness with delivery drivers because they don't have a livable wage.
Yeah, they don't. So they sleep under bridges, whatever they can, get on their bike in the morning and go. Now,
someone said something good. It's like, what country doesn't have a homelessness problem?
Yeah.
But China pretends like it doesn't. And it's so weird to me because I saw it everywhere.
not only do they not pretend, they actually incentivize foreigners and foreign vloggers and YouTubers to go out and say, oh, look, there's no homeless people
It's
here.
such a weird thing to lie about to me.
I know.
Because it's something you can physically see. It's like you could lie about, drugs. That would be much harder because China has massive drug problems, but you would have to actively search for that.
And you'd have to speak the language.
But homelessness, you can see it with your eyes, so you're not going to be able to deny it.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're blind.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Now, here's an interesting clip, and this can explain why a lot of these vloggers living in the bubbles don't see homeless people. Because here, okay, and please pay attention, you saw the homeless people. I'll just rewind a little bit here, okay? You can see you see the homeless people lined up over there, okay? That's a whole whack of homeless people. I don't know how many are there. Let's say 50 odd, 100 odd. If you went all the way down, there's a lot of homeless people there. On this side, they're doing a little PR stunt, okay? The cops are there.
Yeah.
And it's very important to see. Take a look.
I saw his back of his vest.
Yeah, let's see. They got signs up here.
Yeah.
That says...
Oh, my gosh.
Charity accommodation, or basically it's like, this is a homeless shelter type situation. They're coming there to help these people, but are they? Look at the police guys with those like cattle prod things. What do you call those, like sheep neck things? You know what I'm talking about?
People holders.
It's like basically...
Shepherds.
So what they do with that is, if you look, they've got this long pole with like a yoke. You see that he's holding that up? And that is to literally force, and, if anyone tries to attack you or something, you can hold them back or hold them down. But it's also to, like, forcefully move people along. Yeah. So what these guys are doing is, under the guise of being a charitable, like a homeless shelter type thing, they come there and they round these people up and force them into trucks and buses or whatever, and then bust them out of the city or get rid of them,
Yes, and I'm just noticing something, how epic that would be as a grind rail on the ground there.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty big ground rail, yeah.
Anyway.
Exactly. You wanted to give a shout from our sponsor? Before we continue, because we got more of that homeless stuff coming.
Nice.
We'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor, AG1, Athletic Greens.
I think as the year kind of, a lot of people come up with New Year's resolutions and all that kind of stuff, and I understand that a lot of them can't be consistent, but one thing I think could be very, very consistent is if you get on board with AG1, because it's something that we did personally, and again, we don't take sponsors unless it's something we use personally.
Correct.
Or it's something we deeply agree with, and something that has changed our lives completely for the better is AG1, Athletic
Agreed.
Greens.
Yeah.
And what we've noticed is that if there was anything you could do for your body and your health under a minute in one day, there is no better thing than AG1.
Yeah.
You mix the powder into some water and you drink it, and you've already got your entire daily value of vitamins and minerals and everything you need.
Yep.
As opposed to having to budget your diet, figuring out what you need to eat for all your macros and all that kind of stuff, or which vitamins you need.
Yeah, exactly. A handful of this, handful of that.
And on a very simple basis, we both have noticed that we feel incredibly better since we started
Absolutely.
drinking AG1. It's been absolutely incredible. And we've noticed increased energy, lift in mood, and immune support.
Yep.
Everything has just been better since we started AG1, so we wouldn't put our name behind it unless we thought it was excellent. AG1 is fantastic, and I think you guys should pick it up. And also, there's a special thing if you use our link. If you go to athleticgreens.com/ADV, not only are you going to get healthy and get that immune support, but actually they're giving away a really special thing.
Okay.
I'm just pulling it up here.
Pull it up. Pull. Cast that net.
If you go to athleticgreens.com/ADV, like adventure.
I like up there.
Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/ADV and definitely check it out. We both put our name behind it.
Yeah, thank you once again to Athletic Greens for sponsoring the video. And now it's time for us to continue talking about homeless people in China for a minute.
Yes, that is correct.
When this lovely blue sky loop thing that you have going on here
Isn't
just
it
goes away.
really nice, though?
Yeah,
Almost
it's-
as nice as AG1, but not quite.
Yeah, wow, that goes on forever. Okay, sorry. Now, here we have more homeless people being evicted from underneath a bridge. Now, remember, you're not seeing them because they have to move around to avoid the cops all the time. And when they do get bussed off, it's pretty horrible what they do because, these homeless people don't have money, right?
No.
Now,
That's the homelessness.
also, of course, they don't have a residence permit, hukou. Now, the hukou is what you get when you're born in a city. I mean, you can apply for a hukou if you come from another place, but it's very difficult, right? So it's kind of like an internal passport within China.
That's right. It's actually invented by the Soviet Union,
Yep.
and China still uses it.
Yeah, so if you don't have that passport for that city and you get rounded up by the cops as a homeless person, they will put you on a bus and send you however many hundreds of thousands of miles away to your hometown where your hukou is.
Yes.
Okay? And because these people don't have money, it's incredibly difficult for them to make their way back.
Yes.
So you end up in the middle of the countryside. You might, if you're lucky, have relatives out there, where you come from.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
But they dump you off there and that's it, right? They put you
Yes.
on a crappy slow bus all the way. And that's why a lot of the people in the big cities are like, oh, there are no homeless people. But that's because you're walking around like freaking Shanghai or Beijing, right?
Yes.
The thing is, just to reiterate, homelessness is an issue in China. Homelessness is a big issue in China. And unfortunately, it's completely swept under the rug and it's censored. And then they have propaganda out there to try and pretend like it doesn't exist.
It's almost like if you ever see a campaign about
Like we filmed
something-
that. Look, that's you in the background
Yeah.
there, right? Up there.
There was a whole camp there.
Yeah. Look, I mean, the fact that I got tons of footage of homeless people I filmed myself.
Yeah.
And there is tons of this stuff to find if you want from Chinese people online. It's a real thing. It's not fake.
My point is to really sum up how you can always see if something's an issue or not is if China has a massive campaign that lines up with the same topic with many influencers and they're pushing and pushing and pushing to say something
Out of
doesn't
nowhere.
exist,
Out of nowhere, right?
then that means not
It
only
exists.
does it exist, it's a huge problem.
Yeah. You're trying to subliminally...
Oh, you know what, guys? You got to stop. So pause it there.
Oh,
you got
sorry.
to stop hesitating because
Okay.
I saw some people hesitating.
Okay.
There is not only a pinned comment right now where you can in the chat where you can go order this.
Okay.
But this is limited. You got to pick up the China Show hoodie. Stop hesitating. I know you thought about it and then you didn't do it. Now open it up. At least get the tab ready for later.
Okay, sure. No, I
in
can
the
get behind that.
description as
Now, being homeless in China, it can be kind of hazardous.
Yes.
Not only do you have to worry about the cops coming to round you up all the time and shoo you away or hose you down with water or whatever, but this could happen. You could be just sleeping there and someone almost kills you with a bike.
No, they didn't kill anyone. No one got hurt.
No, look, he's fine. That was like a close miss.
YouTube, chill out.
A near miss.
Stop.
Is that what you say? It's a
it's a
freaking
near
near.
miss.
I just kind of want to play that again. So
Sure.
Here's this homeless dude's found this nice little alcove here, right? He's just he looks like a wrapped rug.
It looks like in a cartoon when they wrap someone up in a rug and then it's like a cigar.
Dude, I bet you he did that on purpose so it doesn't look like a person.
Yes.
So that if people walk past, they just think it's a rolled up rug.
That's true.
You know? So he's all
how
cool.
I can tell it's China is those cement blocks with the poles in it.
Yeah. Anyway, he's just chilling out. He's like, I've got my place to sleep. And all of a sudden, you know, like, wham, someone crashes there. Lands on top of him. He's like, whoa.
Damn. That's a weird e-bike.
Yeah, it's like I don't remember ordering it's not an e-bike, it's a real bike.
Oh.
See, I don't remember ordering a middle-aged auntie. What's going on here, you know? Anyway.
He's like, what the hell? It's, you know, in cartoons, they roll some up in a rug.
Yeah, he looks
it's
like
really
that.
like that.
Anyway, last thing on the homeless thing, promise, is we got to hark back to this really hilarious Reddit thread from 3 years ago. Okay?
Yes.
Because this homeless thing
hilarious.
has been going on forever. So
this is on a, I won't say the name of the subreddit. I just want to preface this.
well,
this
we
is
will
Chinese
we will say it because it's in here.
Oh, okay.
But there is a pro-China Reddit called r/Sino, which is
Pro-CCP.
Pro-CCP, sorry, yeah, not China, it's pro-CCP Reddit. And they love to do these like hypothetical questions. They're like, if China's so bad, then why are there no homeless people type thing, right?
They also like to defame us all the time.
Of course. But I mean, they do these stupid questions just so that they can like basically say China's amazing. But they try to pretend like, you know, so they start this. Is homelessness common in China? I imagine the PRC has social programs to combat this. No.
That's such a Quora question where it's already
Quora is like this.
Yeah, they know what they're trying to do here. They're trying to instigate a conversation where everyone's like, yes, indeed. I'm so glad you asked. Here's the government website where they highlight.
So people are like, no, it isn't. And that it's incredibly rare. That's why Chinese tourists are always shocked by how many homeless people there are in Western cities like Paris and New York. Now, you see where this is going. This is that whole whitewashing thing.
It's also a straw man.
Yeah, it's a straw man, gaslighting, whatever you want to call it. This is a nonsense over here. And then for Chinese people and anyone influenced by Confucian thought, homelessness is heavily looked down upon and is to be prevented as much as possible. It's seen as a mismanagement or failing society.
Yeah, is what prevents homelessness in China.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
You see, it's this. This is like some fantasy that people are having about the Far East, you know, the Orient or something like. Oh, they know what
collective society. You remember that old?
Yeah, it's such nonsense.
It's because everyone cares about each other.
Yeah. So here's the fun part. Someone says, as someone living in China, I've seen a lot of homeless people. Heck, I could probably go outside right now and within a few minutes, find 4 or 5. And so he does. He goes outside. See his fine house here? And so he does. He goes outside. See his fine outside. And so he does. He goes outside. See his fine outside. And so he does. He goes outside. See his fine outside. And so he does.
He's like, what are you talking? He might even think so, but he's like, well, I'm going to go downstairs real quick.
So the fun thing is he goes downstairs and he puts the r/Sino, because that's where he was posting this, puts the date, January 3rd, 2020, and he takes photos of 4 homeless people that he finds immediately.
Right outside his door.
Right outside his door. And that's the truth of the matter is you've got all these people online saying like it's a utopia. This Confucian thing, you'd never find homeless people. It's looked down upon. That's why everyone's shocked when they go to the West to see homeless people. Bullshit. All right? And that's why he said, you know, I've been living in China. I bet if I went outside, I'd find some. And guess what? He does. He goes outside. He finds 4. He takes photos of them, immediately posts them in there. And then directly after actually posting that, he gets banned, permanently banned from r/Sino.
I got perma-banned, and they say this thing. It's very funny.
Yeah.
This is the... Okay, it says...
Note for moderators.
So read this. It says, Tiananmen Square is vindicated by China's development, and anti-terror system in Xinjiang is working. End result for Hong Kong is the same as 1997, regardless of rioters. You know it's true, even if you don't like it. There's nothing you can do about it. Go cry an R Westerner. U.S. has the world's highest rate of children in detention. U.S. is the greatest threat to world peace. And they go through. That's the ban note.
That's
By the way,
ban
I got
notice.
that.
You got that?
I wanted to actually go on there to talk about something. Ages ago, and I just read like, "Hey guys, like, good to be here." Something innocuous, and they
banned you
within seconds. But I didn't even do anything.
You see how the Chinese system works, and I'm not just talking about with this homeless thing. It's anything. They will put out the image they want. If anyone actually challenges that image, what do? They censor.
Yeah.
Like this guy, he actually lives in China. Like we were living in China at the time, just before. I left in 2019. That's 2020. We were there. If we go and show something online, they're like, he's a liar.
Yes.
But we're showing the footage. We're like, no, look, it's actually that. They're like, no, he's a liar. He's anti-China. He's a racist. Don't listen to him.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what? Like, it's true. Like,
But we've gotten
know?
to a point where they don't care about the hypocrisy anymore.
Yeah.
People like this, the tankies and all those kind of people, they are vindicated. Like that sentence says, they're vindicated in that even if they're lying and they know. And I've actually seen one of them say this.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if what you're saying is not the truth. If the end goal is that we achieve communism, right?
Right.
If the end goal that we achieve a socialist utopia like China and North Korea and stuff. They believe this stuff so much that even if they know that what they're saying isn't correct, it doesn't matter because in the end justifies the means.
Yeah.
It's truly a dystopian way of thinking, and it's
Yeah.
nuts, and it's not even worth entertaining.
exactly.
It's
So
insane.
the end result, everybody, is I would like to very clearly put this out there that there is a homeless problem in China. There are homeless people in China, and trying to hide them and sweep them under the rug is just doing a massive disservice to them. Okay? I know a lot of you out there probably think, great, it's good to clean up the streets and get the homeless people off the streets. But think about that from your own personal freedom point of view. It doesn't just begin and end at homeless people.
No,
Okay, anyone who's doing something the Chinese government deems undesirable,
Yeah.
like, I don't know,
Yeah.
singing a certain kind of song or, wearing a certain type of clothing, that could be you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't stop with homeless people. It goes throughout the entire society in every level. And it's scary because they will not only disappear or deal with you, but they will also hide it and put out these
exist.
useful idiot Western propagandists to go out there on YouTube and say, look, this isn't a problem in China. And shame on you, all the people that are doing this, because all you're doing is hurting the people of China. You're hurting the unfortunate, homeless people, the people that are really struggling. You are spitting on them by going out there and saying they don't exist.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just reading some chat. Those are American homeless. You ship them in. That's the logic.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So anyway, you might see popping up on your YouTube feeds all this, they're homeless in China. Or, it's late at night, I'm 1 a.m. searching for homeless people. Like, where are the homeless people? Now you know where they are. They're there. They're just
everywhere.
under the bridges. They're at the train stations. They're
Outside the shops.
wherever they can find a place to sleep when they're not being harassed or rounded up by freaking cattle prod, like herding things.
Yeah.
And being sent off into the middle of nowhere to just, fend for themselves.
Pretty ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. So,
Anyway,
yes.
I would like to conclude the poll. It was wildly popular, over 2,000 votes.
Oh, yeah?
Put us back at the bike real quick.
Okay. Oh, I'm still at this guy talking. But yeah, okay. You want me to,
Just make us little.
if I make us, I've got a problem. If I make us little, it puts us back to this. So
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
How are we going to get out to see what happened then?
I will do it at the end of the show.
All right. Well, the popular opinion poll.
Yes.
Would you pick up the bike? If you're just tuning in, there's a bicycle behind us laying on
Lying
the
on the
street.
ground, yeah. It's still lying down. I
Still
can
lying down.
verify.
Okay. Still lying down. We asked, would you pick up the bike to get it out of people's way?
Yeah.
Basically, and help the person out whose bike that is.
Yeah.
And with 52% of people that said yes, they would.
Good. Well, at least they're in the majority.
And 48% of people said no. 48% of people, I will tell you, you need the Lord.
Check your morals. Check your morals.
You need the Lord. I tell you, you need the Lord save you. That is some immoral nonsense.
Pick up the bike, guys. Pick up the bike.
And we will never budge on that. We won't hear
Yeah.
your sob story. Don't even bother sending a super chat about why you won't pick up the bike.
Yeah.
If something happened
Pick it
last
up.
time you did it.
Pick it up.
You do the right thing. You pick up the bike.
Yeah.
You help someone up. You help your neighbor. You help the person.
Yeah.
That's
Pick
struggling.
up the bike.
Pick up the
anyway,
bike.
let's get back to this because I guess after all that homeless thing, we need something to kind of like break up the dour thing. And I've got an IE battle over here, okay? And you know what IEs are? An IE is
I do.
it's an auntie, right? But any middle-aged woman in their sort of late 50s to mid 60s, they're just classified as IEs. Okay, so if you see that kind of demographic walk down the street, you'll be like, there's an IE, right?
Yes.
And here we have a brick battle. I'll just play it out.
Oh, a brick battle.
Whoa! Near miss. Here, coming back.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah, I'll use your own weapon against you.
I thought they were
missed.
gearing up for some baseball.
Oh, there comes another brick.
Whoa!
Anyway, no one got injured, but it was just kind of funny to see an IE battle.
By the way, these are the kind of clips that are viral in China. So we're sharing you what is pop culture in China right now. These are the kind of things that people share around.
Now this, I'm kind of curious about this.
That's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, not the fact that there's someone's giving him a ladder to get out of his car, but the circumstances that led to this guy's car being embedded in a roof. Let's go back.
Yeah, please just pause it on there as he's coming out. That's, I mean, you know, when you play those video games, like what are those ones where you're crashing into stuff?
Yeah.
And you get points. What are those? What's that?
Like
series
Burnout
called?
3 or whatever. Yeah.
This is like if Burnout was real, because when you play those games too much, I remember back when Xbox was huge, you get back in your car and you're like, I got to be careful here because I just spent 3 hours jumping cars into whatever, you know, crashing stuff on purpose, trying to get points.
Sure.
And you're like, oh, you know, you start picturing going off past the guardrail. You know, like going and this guy did it. He played Burnout in real life.
I bet you just wasn't paying attention.
I know.
But how did he end up in the roof?
Because he found an epic ramp, and you always wish they're out there in real life.
Yeah, I know. He actually did it. He actually did it.
I believe I can fly.
Anyway, guys, it's time for us to hit our main segment, which is Soft Power Hour.
Yes.
This is where we talk about how China tries to change your mind through various means. And one thing you always hear about when it comes to propaganda coming out of China is its amazing high-speed rails and how much safer and better their cleaner the metro system is to the New York. They always, by the way,
It's just like the no homeless thing.
don't they just love to keep comparing like ancient ass New York subway system, and they'll take a real bad picture from like the 80s or something where it's got graffiti all over it, or they'll find that one very rotten station and then they compare it to like something that was built last week in China and say, look how much better it is.
The stupidest thing. It's like if a 12-year-old, right, who just heard about different political ideologies, maybe they just started learning about the Soviet Union, was like tasked with coming up with a meme.
Yeah.
About how like the Soviet Union versus America or something. It's like you'd think of like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll find a bad picture and I'll find a good picture and I'll put them together.
Exactly.
And they work.
Yeah, people fall for it.
The Chinese government uses them, like Hua Chunying. The foreign ministry uses these.
They do.
It's the dumbest thing you've ever seen.
Stupid. So anyway, the whole thing is they keep going on about how much better the Chinese subway stations are compared to like America, specifically the New York one. They keep ragging on about that. But something has just happened in China. Like
Not that. Well, that happened.
Yeah, it's 2 days ago. And this was a pretty nasty incident, actually. Never mind this guy. Now, just to kind of demonstrate the way that China is so opaque, I've been following the story since it first broke. And the way I followed it from when it first broke is through Chinese dissidents were sharing, news about the stories about this. And for the first day that this happened, the official story that was coming out was that one of the cars like broke apart from the actual train.
Okay.
That was it. There was
So you explain what happened, right? A subway.
Yeah, but that's not what happened.
Oh, okay.
I'm demonstrating the opacity of the Chinese, news, the way it gets out. They do everything they
Bunch of
can.
people got hurt in a subway crash in Beijing. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what I'm saying is, in the beginning, they were saying like, oh, there was just a failure and two of the cars separated. And that was on the first day for the whole day. Everyone was like, oh, wow, the Beijing subway system, one of them. Then it turns out, no, there was actually a collision. One train crashed into another train.
Oh.
Okay? That only happened the day after you only found out that news, right?
Right.
Anyway, it was pretty bad. Here you can see where it actually broke apart because of the collision. And like hundreds and hundreds of people, actually it was over 1,000 people, had to walk down the tracks because obviously there was a problem. A lot of people were trapped inside the subway cars and actually had to break their way out by smashing the windows because they were starting to hyperventilate because obviously everything's shut down. There's no AC, there's no circulation. People were, people were passing out, that type of thing. But here's the thing. Look at the snow. They blamed it on heavy snow. But looking at the snow, and I'm like, you know what? That's not a lot of snow.
It wouldn't be the China show without some statistics. So I have some.
Oh, you've got some statistics. Good.
So a lot of snow for us is maybe we get 6 inches and people go crazy. Well, not they don't go crazy, but they'll be like, we got to clear the roads, and they get the the snow plows out, and everything's back to normal, except we have a bunch of snow on the grass area, right? But the roads are clear now because the plows came by.
Yeah.
You wait for the plow. The roads are salted. Everything's taken care of. Now, this huge snowstorm right? That caused this massive.
This is what the
failure of-
Chinese government is blaming it on snow. And
I'd like you to read some.
okay,
I
yeah, you
like
read
to
it. And while he's reading that, look at the rail. This is the rail. This is what somebody took a photo of, when the carriage broke from the impact. Look at the rail. It's clean. There's no piled up snow. It's not snow.
So in the beginning of the storm,
Uh-huh.
this newsworthy storm,
Right.
and again, do what you want with this information, but have a lens in your mind about what's a lot of snow to you. Probably a couple feet of snow is a lot to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Snowfall reached 5.8 millimeters, which is 0.23 inches on average by early Monday, with the highest snowfall of 10.2 millimeters, which is about a half an inch of snow.
It's like 10 millimeters.
Recorded in Fangsheng District, Beijing Meteorological Service data allowed. So that was the beginning of the storm, right?
Okay.
So here's the storm's progress until Friday.
Okay. This happened on Thursday, by the way, not Friday.
I'm explaining what's
Okay.
the
peak.
at the end of the storm.
Okay.
It is forecast wide rain and snowfall in central and eastern regions until Friday. So this is the surrounding area of Beijing. With as much as 30 millimeters, 1.2 inches of precipitation and snowstorms in parts of Shanxi, Henan, and Shandong provinces. So Beijing wasn't even the max.
No.
The max this area got was 1.2 inches of snow. And this made international news about how much snow they got. And it just shows you, again, not to belittle the accident. The accident was horrible.
Yeah.
But the accident happened because they're not ready for the most basic of snowstorms. So when you read into these articles, you must be thinking there's 10 feet of snow.
And I don't even think it has anything to do with the snow. I'll be honest with you. I think that's just a scapegoat. I think they're just saying that because it's the easiest thing to say, oh, you know what? We never did maintenance, or we didn't pay our maintenance staff. Our stuff is very poorly slapped together and we just ride along on luck,
There was 0.2 inches of snow to 1.2 inches of snow at its peak.
Yeah.
And this violent, horrible storm caused such tragedy in China. And I'll tell you, from my own personal experience, because I lived in northern China,
Yeah,
where
I
it
didn't.
snows, the infrastructure set up to deal with snow is so insane that when it snows, and again, it's not like in Texas where it's like, oh, we don't get snow, so it's crazy like when it snows.
It snows every year.
It snows all the time
Yeah,
where
yeah,
I
yeah.
lived. It was very popular. It
Sure.
would snow everywhere. It's freezing. It's colder than where I grew up.
Yeah.
Right? Here's the deal. You're in a situation where it snows and there are wrecked cars everywhere because people are sliding out. There are countless people falling on stairs because they don't put down salt. They don't put down anything that gives traction.
Yeah.
Everything is ground to a halt when there is a dusting of snow. And that's why I just don't like this narrative that even carries over to the Western media coverage of this accident, because they take this at face value. And I understand you have to. You take official reports, but
Yeah.
from China. But this whole devastating record storm thing, when you got less than an inch of snow.
I know. Just look at the
Or, it
rails.
snowed way more than that the other day.
Yeah.
It's like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Exactly. Look at those rails. That's the site of the accident. And it's clean as a bean. Look at that. You can see the railway sleepers there. There's no covering, not
Barely.
only the rails, but you can see everything.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. The thing we haven't told you is the statistics. Over 500 people ended up being hospitalized.
Yeah.
That's massive.
That was huge. And it was the accident. That's why I'm saying I'm not belittling the
Yeah.
accident. The accident is very real.
But it's stupid why it happened.
Yeah.
So over 102 people got broken bones. Okay?
Yeah.
That's massive, okay? Imagine that, because you don't understand how packed these subway cars get.
Yeah.
All right?
It's not.
And especially if it's people going home or something, it's insane. You've got thousands and thousands of people on these subway things at any given time. I'll just make us small in here because you can actually see, I'll get us out of here. You could see they got trapped in there. They were having trouble breathing and they had to smash the
Thankfully,
windows
people
open.
got out. That's
Yeah.
why I'm happy to report that, yes, 500 people were hospitalized, over 500 people, right?
Yeah.
But people survived.
Yeah, of course.
Which is excellent.
The thing is, to try and blame this accident
It's
on that
just
middling amount of snow it's a lie. It's a lie.
So dumb. I just can't believe what a weak
Yeah,
excuse.
see
that
how
is.
packed it is?
Yeah.
These are people filming while they were trapped in there. Now, you imagine if everything shuts down, the AC's not working, and, there's no ventilation. You can see it all fogging up in there. It's not cool.
Where is this massive like this person said, and snow never stops us in Norway. Traffic flows as usual.
Yeah.
All the trains work and everything keeps going. There are horrific crap railways in the middle of Siberia that
Yeah.
are running perfectly fine in 4 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Right. This is not what's happening here, guys. If you
Yeah.
have the best infrastructure in the world, which the Chinese government keeps claiming,
Yeah, look at it.
then
Look
what are you
at-
talking about? Then what are you talking about? You couldn't
Yeah.
handle half an inch of snow?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm definitely saying that it's a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Because they just did bad maintenance on these things. There was some other kind of failure of the infrastructure. And if it is because of the snow, then it shows you how unprepared and how crap that infrastructure
That's why I
is.
brought up when I lived in northern China,
Yeah.
because it is that. Nobody is prepared, and it snows all the time.
Yeah.
Northern China is incredibly cold and it snows a lot.
Yeah.
And yet people, they can't deal with it because the government has not set up any infrastructure to deal with snow.
Yeah. Something related. They see all the people walking down, how many
Yeah.
there were. Something related to snow. Do you remember? Because they do salt the roads in China in some areas.
Once in a while and not correctly.
Once in a while. I remember they stored like a lot of road salt underneath a bridge, and then
Yes.
people came and stole it. And the government had to put out like warnings: don't eat that salt. It's road salt.
lot
It's
of people
toxic.
ate the
And a lot of people ate salt because they stole the
It was
salt.
caustic salt.
Yeah, like, dude, imagine you making your like whatever like
Mommy, my
pot of
mouth
something. Yeah, like come on, what are you doing stealing road salt? Yeah. Anyway, that just reminded me of that stupid thing.
为什么这个州是那么辣的?
Yeah, exactly. What the hell? He's like,
Why is this porridge so spicy?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, they did steal all the road salt, so maybe that's why they can't salt the roads. But look at the amount of people that were affected, okay? This one crash of these two subway cars, thousands of people involved. 500 plus people go to the hospital, 102 people with broken bones. It's a huge thing. It's not small. So next time you see the shills or whatever going on about how amazing the infrastructure in China is, remember that it cannot even handle a 0.00 whatever inches of snow. Okay.
0.2 to 1.2 inches, yeah.
Exactly.
You know who could have saved all of this situation?
Who?
Someone.
Oh, dude, there's an expert.
Hey, do I look like a Subway Wonder Man?
I mean, honestly, if Subway Wonder Man was there, he could have been there to be like take care of everything. He looks after the subways. He's the Wonder Man of the subways.
Yes.
Oh boy. Anyway, I'll just play this clip to its fruition so you can see once again. This is the incident that happened 2 days ago. And this is something just to take note of for next time. They're like, look how bad this 100-year-old subway is in New York versus this brand new subway in Beijing. I bet you the New York subway can handle a little bit more than 0.2 inches of snow, right?
Yes. Yes, we can. And I say we as someone that used to go there a lot.
Yeah. Another thing people don't realize is that all this modern infrastructure you see in China that they put out there, it is new. It hasn't been around for very long. And the people of China have not been able to enjoy the very basic idea of like a subway system until very recently. Whereas the rest of the world, like England and America, it's been over 100-odd years that they've been able to use this kind of stuff.
Yes.
So you have to do apples to apples. It's kind of unfair, these stupid comparisons they do. It's as if you cooked an amazing cake.
Yeah.
Right? And you figured out cake. You baked it. You can cook a cake. It wouldn't taste as good as baking it. Okay. But anyway, let's say you bake this cake.
Yeah.
You figure out the ingredients. Okay. So you know how to put in the flour, the sugar, and all that. And then you bake the cake and you put it out there for 120 years. And it kind of looks a bit rotten, okay, because it's been out in the sun. Someone else takes your recipe, bakes a new one that doesn't taste as good, and it's not actually nearly as good as your one, but they're just fresh out the oven with like steam rising off. And they look how great our cake is compared to your crappy 120-year-old cake. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's kind of not fair. You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys get the idea.
Cooked cake.
Dude, cooked cake is awesome. You haven't cooked a cake?
Never cooked a cake. I baked it.
Why do you think it's called a cookie, by the way?
I don't know, actually.
Do you think it's because you cook?
Probably not. It's probably some weird Dutch or German word from.
Well,
back
I
in
know
the day.
in Afrikaans, a koek is a cake.
Oh, interesting.
It's like Koek.
That's probably why you're thinking in your native language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like a hurkoek or whatever. You know,
What is that again?
that's like a whore cake.
What? Why would you say that?
That's
What's
just
a whore cake?
that's what you call someone.
Oh,
It's like an insult.
a whore cake?
Yeah.
I'm using that.
Yeah,
That's
who-
excellent. What a
Hurkoek.
rare
Yeah,
insult.
Yeah, it is like you whore cake. I guess you know what I'm
That's the
saying.
rarest insult.
Yeah,
I love that. I'm
Don't know why I
saying
remember
whore
that.
cake from
Yeah,
now
whore
on.
cake's an interesting
Part of
insult.
my French.
Yeah,
Part of my Afrikaans.
Yeah, Afrikaans. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? There's barely any left of these.
Okay.
These China show hoodies. There's barely any left, You better check the link in the description.
Are you
Get one.
Canadian or something?
Don't you know? I'm from the
Yeah,
Midwest.
yeah, exactly.
Don't you know?
Okay, right.
A hot dish.
Ah, excellent. So anyway, yeah, you say hot dish, but we say cool drink in South Africa.
We don't say hot dish. I was pretending to be a Midwesterner.
Well, I mean,
slash a Canadian.
yeah, okay. Canadians might say hot dish, and we say cool
Midwestern,
drink.
like Minnesota people, yeah.
You know, like sody pops or whatever you call it here in
Yeah,
America.
because that's what we say. We
I've heard-
say sody pop.
I've heard people say it.
Yes, you have in a specific area.
Okay, well, it's still in America, right?
It's not what we say here.
Okay, all right. Well, I've heard people say sody
We
pop,
say soda here.
which sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't like it when
that
people say
makes
sody
me
pop.
incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's very bad.
I never say it
Yeah.
again. We ban it from the show.
But yeah, in South Africa, we say cool drink.
Yeah, I know you taught me that.
Can you get me a cool drink?
A cool drink is any soft drink,
Yeah, it's basically
even
like
if it's
Coke.
not cold.
No, yeah, but I mean, it should be cold.
Should be
but
cold,
yeah, but that would be like a Coke or a Pepsi. Well, although we didn't really have Pepsi until recently in South Africa.
Yeah, whatever. But you mean anything
Like a
that's
Sprite,
not
you know?
alcoholic, like a soda.
Yeah,
I mean
like
any soda.
It's a soda. It's a cool
Okay,
drink.
gotcha.
Yeah, cool drink, which is weird. I
Oh,
guess it is
you know
cool
what
having
we
a drink.
should do?
What?
Let's do a poll on pop versus soda because pop versus soda divide in America is like the big one. And we'll actually
Soda
see.
sounds weird to me as well.
No, it's the.
Can you make three? Can you say three things in a poll?
I can.
Okay, pop versus soda
Yeah.
versus cool drink.
What? I was gonna put Coke because some
No.
people down south say Coke. Who says cool drink?
It's one word, dude.
Oh, you're gonna get so few people saying cool drink.
Let's find out. What would no? The thing is, like, what would you choose?
Well,
Hey,
oh,
you-
it's what would you choose?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
crap.
popping into the shop. Can you get me a cool drink?
I would say a soda.
Okay, I don't say cool drink anymore, but I kind of like it
I think it sounds cool
because
I like
especially
it.
around you who likes room temperature stuff.
I don't. I
and warm
tolerate
beer.
it. I
Yeah,
tolerate
It's
it.
kind of it's implied that you have to go out and get something cold or cool at least. Okay,
gotcha.
Like a cool drink, not a warm one. You know?
Okay, so we're doing the what do you say? Which is, I guess, what would you say? Pop, soda, or cool drink?
Yeah,
I think
cool
cool drink
drink.
sounds interesting.
Yeah, I prefer to say cool drink. I'm gonna start saying it
Everyone's very
more.
confused by it
Yeah.
because it's unheard of.
Well, it's a South African thing.
Yeah,
Just like
you learn
traffic lights are
something new.
robots, you know?
Yes, I can't get on board with that.
What, the robot thing? No, that's
that's
stupid. That's stupid. I agree.
A lot of things I like, but I don't.
No, robots are rubbish. Turn left to the robots.
No, that's just not okay.
It's stupid.
It doesn't move.
Apparently because they were originally called robotic lights.
Yeah,
And so,
right. But we stopped that. Right.
yeah, it's weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
while we're having this lovely poll about cool drinks, because, by the way,
I'll let it get to 1,000 votes.
This is definitely what you want, I assure.
Yes, we got a new soundbite.
yes, I wanted to remind you that this past week on Monday, we had our Royal Rumble. Now, guys, Xiaoba and Ho is our VIP show that we have
Yeah.
once a week on Mondays. But the Royal Rumble is for all levels of patrons. So if you're a patron, you would have been able to watch this. If you're a patron, even the lowest level patron, you can go watch it right now. And there's a link in the description of that one to go watch the original Royal Rumble as well.
Yes.
This is number 2. So we just...
This is open to all levels of patrons.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought we'd just show you guys what you might have missed out on. Here we go.
Welcome to the second annual China Show Royal Rumble.
Oh,
dead on
Maltadon
dead
kicking the
violence.
shit out of old Darucci. Oh, Jonty just knocked out Maltadon. Oh, come on, Jonty. Give me a break. Yeah, he's obviously tired of me making fun of him. Darucci just got Xi Jinping out of the ring. What, like, you're beating me up now? Come on. What the hell?
Chinese ox. This is gonna get dangerous.
Oh, dear Wong, hanging on for dear life.
For dear life.
Yeah. Hold on, Rick. You can get back in. Come on.
And this
Hold
is
on.
where China is out. She is
man.
out. Oh.
What is going on here? Oh, there goes Ginger Boss. Come on, Tractor, kick him in the ball sack.
Oh, he's hold on. He's hold on.
Yeah, guys, so
Whoa, sorry, but if you
Yeah.
you got to get the hoodie. You know you want it.
Sure. Anyway, so if you want to go watch that, go ahead on over to patreon.com/ADV podcasts and join any tier of patron. It's right there, and you can watch the previous 2 Royal Rumbles. It's something we do once a year. As you probably saw from that little preview, we have all of the big names, the big, what? What are you reading? What?
People are calling me cute milk again because of that.
Because of that stupid clothing.
We've banned
Yeah,
cute
no
milk.
cute
you
milk.
get banned from the chat.
Yeah, you can say hurkuk instead. Yeah.
If you say cute milk. Of course, we won't enforce that because we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
But don't call me cute milk. And
Sure.
I ask you this just from
Nicely.
the bottom of my heart. Please don't call me cute milk.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I did dress up like a wrestling fan, or at least what I thought a wrestling fan looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Or
close enough.
Like a frayed vest. I got some tattoos.
Yeah, well, drawn on ones, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah,
You'd
who
have to
knows?
check
Yeah,
out.
it could be pretty bad tattoo if that was real.
You don't like my barbed wire on my skull?
No, that was pretty tasteless. Anyway, you can see there, we've got all the main characters. So we got all people like Olsak everywhere.
Turn up the cute milk thing.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got John T in there. And, we got all of our favorite people. We even have like Subway Wonder Man.
Do I look like a Subway Wonder Man?
But like everybody that's kind of a character attached to the show. We even have Sarah AI.
I will also say we did a live commentary over it.
Yeah,
we did
we
not
hadn't
see
seen it. We hadn't seen it, which
so
is the best way to
yes,
do it, right?
Yes. It was an amazing experience, even better than the first year. It was
Yeah.
a real nail biter.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend because you don't even have to join the Shaban Ho level. You can join any level to go check it out, even just to see the Royal Rumbles, both of them.
Yeah,
I would
super fun.
If I was even a passive
Dude, it's-
watcher of the show, I'd go watch that.
It's Friday. You know what? I'm actually, as soon as I get home after this, I'm cracking open a beer, I'm turning on the Royal Rumble, and I'm just going to watch it again.
yeah, it's very fun.
It's super fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, let's
let me
move
let
on.
me kill the poll. 59% clear majority say soda. 21% say pop, and 20% I don't believe say cool drink, but maybe they want to.
I think cool drink is better than pop.
I think
Yeah, soda pop.
cool
what
drink.
a pop.
I think
What
cool
is
drink
pop?
is much better than pop.
Yes.
I still say soda because it's my native language.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But cool drink's cool.
Pop. Like,
Pop's lame.
so stupid. Like, pop.
Don't
what does
say
it even
pop.
do? I want some pop.
Good for you.
It sounds like some kind of street slang for a drug.
It's either
You
a
got some
drug
pop, bro.
or it's like you didn't finish what you're gonna say. Popcorn or what do you want? Pop what? Pop
Exactly.
rocks? You know?
It's kind of like that. What happens when a balloon goes pop?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Stop.
Hey,
Stop with the
that
pop.
color really pops.
Stop popping. Don't call
Yeah.
me cute milk.
Pop and lock. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Anyway, enough for the soda pop stuff. It's time for us to move on to our next segment, which of course is Wumao Corner, where we talk about the haters and all the nonsense they get up to. And what are we going to talk about today, C-Milk?
We are running low on time, so we'll rip through this real quick. Maybe rather than play this, just play it without audio.
China says it firmly
Why?
opposes
Play the audio
countries slandering its national security law, adding that Hong Kong's affairs are purely an internal matter for Beijing. Western critics have deplored Hong Kong authorities after bounties put out on overseas-based activists accused of violating the city's national security law. Chief Executive John Lee has warned they will be pursued for life if they refuse to turn themselves in.
Okay, we don't need this.
Yeah, so basically what happened is, I was going to play the whole thing because there's some really good commentary in this, but we're going super long today.
All right.
Basically what happened is the Hong Kong, remember China basically instituted this Hong Kong national security law. And what that means is that if you do anything...
Well, you
if
mean
you're-
Beijing implemented the Hong Kong security law?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, you did say Beijing?
Yeah.
I thought you said Hong Kong.
No, I said Beijing instituted in Hong Kong
Right.
the national security law. And what that means is, even though Hong Kong is supposed to have freedom of speech and all this
What
stuff,
that means is Beijing can't handle freedom of speech,
Yes.
and they had to find a way to stop it. They're like, these
Yes.
pesky Hong Kongers, they can say whatever they want, and that's not okay.
So people that led the protests, people
Yeah,
that had
whoops.
something to do with the protests, those huge protests where half the country of Hong Kong came out on the
I was there.
streets. Yeah.
You know, I've got footage of the protests. It was the 2014 ones. I
talking
didn't go
about
to
the
the
new ones.
2019.
Yeah.
Well, it's linked. The umbrella
for
movement is
sure.
all the same.
Yes. Anyway, the modern ones.
Yeah.
what happened was China couldn't handle it. They shut the entire thing down. And I don't think personally you'll ever see anything like that again because it was stopped in its tracks because of Beijing's
Overreach.
reach, right? And now Hong Kong, you know, we would never go there. You shouldn't go there if you're ever critical of China on the internet. It's gotten to a point now where Hong Kong is basically a part of mainland China. And what's happened is that
And
they've
for those of you who think, yeah, well, it belongs to China, no, it's not supposed to be a part of mainland China for 50 years.
Yeah.
They signed an agreement.
Yeah.
They broke their promises. They broke their agreements, just like the Chinese government breaks every single promise it's ever made.
Every time.
Tell me one that they've kept.
what I just said in my last video. There is
Yeah.
no situation where China's actually had to pay the price for a mistake that they made or a promise that they've broken. Never. And prove me
Never.
wrong. Prove me where they've had to do something.
Yeah.
Because they've never ever been held to task.
Exactly.
So anyway, these Hong Kong democracy people, these pro-democracy people, some of them quite prolific, some of them less influential in the sphere, fled. Right, because of this national security law. Because what this national security law does is it says that if you're in Hong Kong, you can get arrested if you talk shit about China or the CCP.
Anything that they deem a threat to national security. And that can literally be wearing a type of T-shirt.
Now, they've said that they'll never use this. It's going to be a rare law.
Well,
It'll
that was
never
when
be
they were trying to sign it in, right?
And what happened was...
It's not rare. They use it all the time.
They use it all the time. They catch people on connecting flights. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like any sort of dissident, they'll nail you on this, right?
Yeah.
And it's real scary, especially if you're a journalist in China or in Hong Kong, where a lot of journalists are stationed. Like it's you got to start thinking about maybe moving, and a lot of
I
people
agree.
have. We know a lot of journalists that have left and moved to Taipei.
Yeah.
Anyway, long story short, they've Chinese government put out bounties on these people,
Yeah.
which were unofficial bounties. So if you capture this dissident, this Hong Kong dissident in England or in wherever, right, America, and you bring him back to Hong Kong and face trial for the national security law, which Beijing implemented, then you get a reward, right? Now, this is unofficial, but now China has officially endorsed the bounties.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously they would.
Well, yeah, at the same time, it's really bad PR, right? Because, again, we're not supposed to do that in Hong Kong, right?
They've reached that point where they don't care
They don't
anymore.
care anymore,
Yeah.
right?
They managed to trick the world, and it's at that point where it's too late for anything to be done about it, so now they can just gloat.
One of these
know?
activists was born in America. And here's a quote. It says, I'm going to pull it up here. One of the five, Joey Siu, a U.S. citizen who was born in North Carolina and moved to Hong Kong as a child. So he's born an American citizen, guys. This is not a Chinese person from mainland China. This morning, I, a U.S. citizen, woke up to the news that an arrest warrant and $1 million Hong Kong dollar bounty had been placed on my head by the Hong Kong government, which is the Chinese government, for exercising my freedoms in my own country.
Yeah.
Preposterous.
Yes, it is. Where is that?
It's preposterous.
The sheer overreach is insane to me.
Yeah, it's getting
That's
to...
an American citizen.
I mean, it's getting to a point that when are they going to put an arrest warrant out for us?
Yeah.
You know, anyone who criticizes
anyone.
the Chinese government.
Yeah, I mean, this
You know?
this is a swath of people, right?
Yeah, imagine
Any
a bounty
journalist-
gets put on your head just because you say Xi Jinping sucks.
Right, or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Right, or that Hong Kong deserves freedom or something.
Yes.
You know, stand with Hong Kong or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Pretty much anything about this. If this turns out to be the case, pretty much every journalist that's ever talked about China is going to be on that list.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah, with $1 million Hong Kong dollar
Yeah.
bounty.
It's insane. Like, when are we going to get to that point?
Yeah, it's
know?
crazy.
Okay,
Anyway,
Sorry.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, let's move on to the next topic. That is a good Wumao corner.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying this is nonsense, and you've got your little...
You know this is limited, right? Like the China show hoodie, it's not coming back.
yeah.
This is the end.
Yeah, remember we did the T-shirts,
Yeah.
and they were limited, right?
Yeah.
We're not bringing those back.
Yes.
That's where you're like, well, a hoodie's not a T-shirt, so you're not lying.
No.
We'll bring it back.
Well, also, why not? Like, a lot of people like hoodies. Why not have both?
I like hoodies.
Why not? If you didn't get the T-shirt, why not get this, and vice versa?
You know what the biggest
Not
like
vice
lie about hoodies is? You know when it's raining and you put that hood on?
Yeah.
It's just cloth, dude. It just soaks up the rain.
there is no lie because the name of hoodie doesn't say water.
But it's like this idea that you're going to be protected from the rain.
It's not for the rain. It's for the cold.
Whatever, man. It's like where I'm from is never really that cold usually.
Oh, true.
So you have a hoodie and
true.
it's like it's raining and you're like, but I've got a hood.
If you're doing that for rain, then you're a whore cake. Right?
I guess you're right.
I get to use it.
Yeah, you got to use it. You got to say it right. So hurkuk.
Hurkuk. But I want to say whore cake because it sounds hilarious.
Yeah, okay, all right, fine.
Hurkuk. I'll
Yeah.
say hurkuk too.
Yeah, all right. So you want to go over this?
This is fascinating.
This is international or this is still
This
Wuma?
is still
Worldview?
Wuma.
Still Wuma corner?
yeah.
Okay, fascinating. Go for it.
So there's a ultra right wing politician in Belgium, right? And Chinese spies recruited him. But the most interesting thing about this is it's fully documented how it happened.
Oh, okay.
So now we finally get to see how the Chinese government gets people, Western politicians, to do things for them and for what purposes, what were their goals, right? It's
Yeah.
all laid out. All the links are in the description for everything we talk about today.
Okay.
It says Chinese spies ran a far-right Belgian politician as an intelligence asset for more than 3 years in a case that shows how Beijing has conducted influence operations in an effort to shape politics in its favor. Daniel Wu, so this is the officer in China, an officer in China's Ministry of State Security.
Which is like the CIA.
Yes, spy agency pushed Frank Kreilman, a former Belgian senator, to influence discussions in Europe on issues ranging from China's crackdown on democracy in Hong Kong. And that seems to be one of their biggest things.
They hate it.
To its persecution of Uyghurs in Xinjiang. As German Chancellor Olaf Scholz was about to visit China in late 2022, Wu asked Kreilman to convince 2 right-wing members of European Parliament to say publicly that the U.S. and the U.K. were undermining European energy security. And this is my favorite quote.
Okay.
This is from the spy.
The spy said. This is
in a text to Kreilman,
Okay.
the politician. He says, our purpose is to divide U.S.-European relationship, right? Now let's keep going here.
Okay,
This
well-
is fascinating how this transpired.
Yeah.
Because it's so close to home. I mean, these are politicians that are in the West. This isn't like in Cambodia or something.
Sure,
right?
sure.
The relationship between the Chinese case officer and his Belgian agent is documented in text messages from 2019 to late 2022 that were obtained from a Western security source in a joint investigation by the Financial Times. And that's Der Spiegel and Le Monde. But this article is from Financial Times, which is in the description. And
Right.
There's
Yeah,
a
you could
bunch
go
of
read the whole
details
thing.
you definitely check out. It says, Kreilman did not respond to efforts to reach him by text, phone, or email, but the exchanges reveal in explicit detail how Chinese intelligence tries to manipulate political discussion around the world in Beijing's favor, a concern is increasingly flagged by Western security agencies. While most big countries engage in spying, the MSS operation in Europe highlights one of the defining features of Chinese espionage, which is widespread influence operations aimed at shaping political debate that span Ottawa, London, and Canberra. Washington has also repeatedly warned of covert efforts by Beijing to interfere with elections, which is very dangerous. That's
By
when
the
it spins
way,
out of control.
part of this is the shills too. Like the
Oh,
stuff
no,
you see
no,
on
no.
YouTube. It's
Oh,
all
yeah.
part of this influence operation.
Oh, yeah, it starts up here, though.
That nonsense about the no homeless people in China can be categorized underneath this too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? The MSS has spent decades trying to shape politics and global discourse on China, recruiting and manipulating academics, policymakers, business leaders, and as this case shows, even politicians as part of that, said Alice Josk, a consultant of McGrath Nicole and the author of Spies and Lies, a book about MSS. And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
So let's look at what they did. Wu, so the spy,
Yes.
the Chinese spy, operates from the Zhejiang branch of the MSS, according to the intelligence officers from 4 Western countries. Western intelligence has also tracked him operating in Poland and Romania. So he's, just like a spy, they operate in many different countries, right? In one exchange in 2021, and we know about this, because we know about this investigation because about the Uyghur thing, about
Yeah.
the Xinjiang thing, right? We, the guy that was in charge of finding, what's it called? The Uyghur genocide, tracking all
the Xinjiang files and all
Xinjiang
that.
files, yeah. Is this guy named Adrian Zen.
Yeah, we actually spoke to him.
spoke to him on this public forum thing.
Yeah,
right?
we had an interview with him.
Yeah, it said in one exchange in 2021, Wu told Kreilman that he had been tasked with attacking Adrian Zenz,
yeah, of course.
a researcher who helped reveal how China detained hundreds of thousands of mainly Muslim Uyghur minority in its far western region of Xinjiang.
You'll find that was a big directive because at the time, also, I keep harping on about the YouTube shills, and that's just because that is our wheelhouse. We
Yeah.
do YouTube. We've been attacked by these guys for the
Yeah.
longest time. So we know what's going on. But the Western foreign YouTubers who do all this like pro-China, pro-CCP fluff nonsense on YouTube, like no homeless people and stuff. They did many videos attacking Adrian Zenz.
Yeah.
And there was
It's a
obviously
directive.
it was a
It's
directive.
MSS.
It's like we have to discredit this man.
Yeah.
And that's because he revealed the extent of the Uyghur, oppression. in
Yeah, the
Xinjiang.
details are escaping, but there's the Xinjiang files and all these things.
Yeah, and Adrian Zenz has been a big driving factor behind that.
He's like a German researcher.
Yeah,
dude.
and human rights researcher. Yeah.
So it says Wu also asked Kreilman to help disrupt a conference on Taiwan. So there's another ding, ding, ding big issue that they don't like, right?
Yeah.
And the pair discussed paying an intermediary to influence a Catholic cardinal to warn against politicizing COVID-19 as China came under pressure over the virus that emerged from Wuhan. So look at the big topics. It was all those ones that we got attacked for.
Yeah.
Foreign or Western journalists got attacked for across every platform.
Exactly.
It was during that time period. Former U.S. intelligence officials with expertise on the MSS were briefed on the exchanges, and the messages bore the hallmarks of classic political influence operation by the agency. They reflect the MSS obsession with the U.S. having been the black hand behind the Hong Kong protest movement, which was this fantasy
Dude.
China concocted.
And I've said it before, but during the protests, one of my very close friends was very much involved as a photojournalist during that time.
Yeah.
He was taking a lot of photos of the protests, and they started spreading around on social media pictures of him with red circles around saying that he was a CIA operative. This friend of mine is British, English teacher and photojournalist in Hong Kong.
Definitely not.
Not CIA, but they, because they had to try and make an excuse as to why the sort of ethnic Chinese people would rise up against the government, the Hong Kong people. Why would they do that? It must be the CIA, not because they actually care about their own freedom.
The desire to constantly look for opportunities to disrupt pro-Taiwan conferences and events in third countries, and its mission to discredit those reporting on human rights abuses in Xinjiang, said Dennis Wilder, a former top CIA China analyst now at Georgetown University. Peter Mattis, a former CIA counterintelligence analyst, said it also illustrated the feature of the Chinese intelligence, how the MSS gives autonomy to its regional branches. This case shows that Beijing and the MSS provide direction, but the intelligence officers and the sources work together on how to achieve their objectives, said Matisse, head of Jamestown Foundation think tank. Let's look at some of these messages.
Okay, Jamestown Foundation? Is that Jamestown as in drink the Kool-Aid Jamestown?
No, probably not.
Okay, all right.
Just a lot of Jamestown.
Probably, all right.
The former CIA operative said the MSS also tended to take more risks in Europe, so in comparison with the U.S., right? Because it viewed the consequences of being caught as less severe than the U.S. One former senior Western intelligence officer said Brussels was a particular focus because its security services did not have sufficient resources.
Nice.
And this is a key, a little key we picked up on here. It is unclear how or when Kreilman was recruited, his relationship with Wu seems to have been conducted remotely, with the exception of a trip to Sanya, a beach resort city in Hainan Island in 2019 to meet his intelligence handler. And you know what we noticed, Winston and I? A lot of these very, very big, serious, scary propaganda campaigns from these Western influencers.
Yes.
We won't name names, but they started after they went on these paid trips
To Sanya and Hainan.
It's very interesting. I wonder if any of these perhaps were meeting handlers.
Yes, I wonder.
I bet their foreign governments or their home governments wouldn't be too pleased about that.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Sanya, Hainan, it's in the south of China there. We've been there, actually. We've been there, I rode a motorcycle down to there. It is like the intelligence hub for China.
Seems
one
to
of,
be, at
Yeah,
least.
one of them for their spy operations.
Whenever we read these, we always
Yeah.
find they always send stuff there.
And it just seems kind of weird that not that long ago, a lot of YouTubers that do pro-CCP propaganda all kind of went to Sanya and Hainan on these trips to promote Sanya and Hainan. And you do bring up a point, because that's where all their spy agents seem to be and operate from. So why not?
Every time we read this stuff.
Why not use that opportunity to bring travel vloggers and whatever over there and then kind of just get them into
If that's
doing
the
propaganda?
goal, right? Yeah, that's how you get wet their whistle.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, where does the CIA operate out of? Like, what?
DC?
Quantico or which? That's FBI. Is it Quantico?
I don't know.
One of those. Whatever.
It's DC.
Take DC. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be kind of weird if, suddenly YouTubers that were spouting out massively pro-American videos all of a sudden, which is different to what they've been doing before, all went to a trip to like the CIA headquarters in DC, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden they're like, America is great. compared to everywhere else, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So, just a food for thought. If you see
starting to
Sanya,
make me think.
yeah, Sanya and Hainan, if you see that in the travel itineraries of shills, who knows? Who knows?
Oh, Langley. That's right. Langley.
Oh, Langley.
We actually
Yeah.
learned that from CCP propaganda.
Yes.
I didn't even know.
Yeah. So suddenly,
Langley.
all these like weird, like a British and Australian YouTuber suddenly, travel YouTubers go to Langley.
Yeah.
And they're like, Langley's the most amazing place to go travel. And straight
historical
afterwards, they're
value.
like, the Iraq War was excellent and great. Like,
Imagine
then you're
that.
like, okay, maybe there's something funny going on here, Anyway, let's see.
So you can read through these text messages. These are
Okay, let's do it
pretty
quickly.
crazy. I don't know if you can see that.
Daniel Wu, there are two types
So
of
this is the Chinese
targets. One, good position, but not our minds.
His English is excellent.
Two, position not so good, but listen to us.
I guess what he means is like the first one is like the target's like they're in a good position, like where we need them, but they're
You could have
not,
made this a little bigger.
like, sorry.
He says, if you have any ideas and resources which can help, it's better. My idea is that we assure a target person, then we think together about the ways to drag him into our cooperation, like we did before. So they've obviously done it before. In the old days, we asked you to develop a source like Martin's Selmier.
So Frank, the Belgian politician,
Yeah.
the Western politician, says, that I know, but I can't just say, here are some Chinese guys I want you to meet. It should have some purpose. Maybe in a sort of conference around a theme that we can that can interest them. Political would
Political
would
the
the
Uyghur.
Uyghur subject interesting for our type of groups. Martin was a good luck shot. Very hard to get around that high ranking guys. And he has finished anyway. So this guy is so clear on what he's doing.
Yes.
Like he's an asset.
He says, yes, I just make an example. Not like you made it even smaller.
I didn't
Daniel
make
was
this.
like-
This is from Financial
No, but in
Times.
the media
Correct.
pack. I now, what?
It doesn't matter. To basically go through about how to pay. Frank, the Western politician guy, does not use cryptocurrency, and then so
Okay.
that's how they exchange money.
So he basically teaches
It's
him.
in the description.
He teaches him how to receive money through Bitcoin and
And
whatever.
he says use Binance or whatever.
Binance, yeah, which is the Chinese thing. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so
But it's pretty interesting though, because I've never seen an article highlight how this goes down, and
Yeah.
it rang so true. And again, maybe this is more interesting to us because we've seen so many of these people go to Hainan and then end up doing the exact same things that they highlight in the article about the topics they didn't want people to talk about.
Yeah.
It was identical.
it is identical.
It's insane. It's literally the same. I suspect there are Westerners going to Hainan, getting
Yeah, to Sanya,
trained-
Hainan.
to Sanya, Hainan, getting trained by Chinese government spy operatives.
Or maybe not even trained, maybe just approached
Approach
and being given opportunities.
and given opportunities,
Yeah.
right? Maybe not as overt as this,
Yeah.
but I suspect a lot of them are as overt as this because the messaging is the same. The Hong Kong thing, the COVID thing,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
nuts.
I can just imagine the shills rapidly going to their YouTube channels and quickly privating all their Hainan, Sanya
Yeah.
fluff pieces they did. They're like, oh shit.
didn't go there.
I didn't do that. It wasn't me. No. Anyway.
I suspect there's some nonsense going on.
I mean, we know we've
Yeah,
we've exposed email
Yeah,
back and forth
true.
of some of these shills getting paid directly from
Yeah.
the state media and
Yeah.
stuff. So it happens. We know it happens. We've been approached
Yeah.
ourselves. Remember last time we did that thing about Hazza and the spy? Remember we did the thing about
Yeah,
that?
no. What I'm mostly saying is I think we found the connection between like you start with that travel stuff, and now we know directly what it ends up as.
Yeah.
it's that. It's definitely it turns into that because the
Absolutely.
messaging in the videos is the same.
Same thing, yeah. Anyway, what is this nonsense you keep putting up in here?
Oh, it says, what does it say? Hurry up. I know you didn't get it yet. So all the people that did not buy this video yet, hurry up and get it.
Okay.
I know you didn't get it.
Just don't expect to wear it in a rainstorm and keep dry,
It is not waterproof,
No.
believe it or not. It is a normal hoodie.
So it's not like a
high quality.
raincoat. Okay. I guess it's time for Worldview, guys. This is where we talk about everything in the world, specifically with regards to China. And what have we got for Worldview here? Oh, we have a little thing.
You can talk about this.
Okay. Well, there's not much
You're
to
the
say.
plane guy.
these are some Chinese bombers, which are just a knockoff of, a Western bomber. And here are some Soviet fighter jets. And basically they were doing joint drills. So Russia and China.
I thought they don't do drugs.
Well, drills, dude. What is a drill? Is that what kind of
Joint.
drug is a drill?
They're practicing how to do drugs. Joint is the drug.
Oh, joint
my
drills.
gosh.
Okay. I thought, yeah, they were doing drills jointly, like, oh man, I want to score some drills,
There's a drug called
Probably
drill.
drills, like,
Absolutely there is.
Yeah, it's
You know there
probably.
is.
Anyway, so just again, the cooperation between China and Russia is very clear, and it caused some hassles. And Japan had to scramble some jets, right? Was it
Yes.
Japan did that? Scrambled some jets
And South Korea.
and South Korea to be like, hey,
It was
what the
mostly
hell?
South Korea.
Yeah. So again, we just have to bring this back all the time. Every time China's trying to say, oh no, we don't support the invasion of Ukraine or whatever, but they're sending weapons to Russia and they're sending supplies to Russia and then they're doing joint drills with Russia. I think it kind of goes against that message.
It's like they think everyone's dumb, but maybe
Yeah.
they are because nobody does anything about
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so you got another thing up here.
This will never be sold again, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This hoodie will never be sold again. And the link's in the description and in
Yeah.
the pinned
And
chat.
then we go back to
Yes, they're just showing some planes.
some planes,
There's the Russian ones.
for those of you who want to know, like, doing
Oh,
some
I want to
things.
show this. Look at this.
Yeah.
This just shows you for all the tankies out there. This is a view from a South Korean post. This is a North Korean guard post seen from South Korea near the demilitarized zone. This is recent.
Yeah.
In Paju, South Korea. It's just very good. North Korea's really just got it all switched on.
Wonderful guard tower.
Paradise,
Love
really.
that paint. You know?
Paradise.
Yeah, amazing. The sky don't lie. Looks like they're getting some blow off from China down there.
They're
What's going
border
on?
China.
Yeah.
I just think it's so funny when I
Mm-hmm.
see people go so far down the tanky pipeline, like the communist pipeline, that
Yeah.
they end up like saying North Korea's utopia.
Military
Yeah.
aircraft, please.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, just a memory.
Oh yeah,
The
okay.
memory of a U.S. Air Force flying in international airspace and his interaction with the Chinese pilot.
Oh yeah, let's listen. I can't
Classic.
wait.
Take us
Let's
out.
do it. Okay, I'll get us out of here. Let's listen to this quickly.
Classic.
yourself.
This is the Chinese Navy. This is the Chinese Navy. This is the Chinese Terror Sky. Please go away quickly in order to run judgment.
I am a United States military aircraft conducting lawful military activities outside national airspace. I am operating with due regard as required under international law.
Who could forget? Who could forget the classic meow?
I know,
They
like
had nothing to reply.
Yeah,
it
they-
was
so they
like
just said
wrong
meow.
English.
yeah.
In trying to get this U.S. pilot to go away, and then his response to a very valid statement from
Was
the U.S.
meow.
was a meow. So there was that. Always
Yeah.
remember that was not from the current.
No,
interception.
that's from a number
Yeah.
of years ago,
Yeah.
but it's just funny.
We love it.
All right, and this is your last ever say on the
what does it say?
matter?
If you miss the T-shirt, you know it's never coming back, right? You know the T-shirt's not coming back.
Yeah.
But this too is not coming back. Links in the description.
All right.
You know how much
Excellent.
time left.
Well, now that that's out the way, let's see if the bicycle's been picked up yet.
Yeah.
Nope, you can still see it lying down
Someone's
there.
trying to cover it up.
It's still lying down there. We'll check on that a little bit later, but it's
Okay.
time for us to hit Yamcha. That's our Q&A section. This is where we answer your questions and you question our answers. It is, of course, time to relax. It is Friday after all, everyone. I'm going to loosen the tie. If you are with us live and on the weekend, you can watch this. We cut it out of the show on Monday. But if you are a patron of any level over at patreon.com/ADV podcasts, you can always go watch the full show, including the Q&A for any of our previous episodes.
Yes.
And you also can watch Royal Rumble.
Even
And-
just for that. Go.
And you get access to our Discord server,
Correct.
where there's lots of memes and fun stuff.
Yes.
And you support us, which we appreciate very, very much.
And you should pick up the bike.
Yes.
And you should buy a hoodie.
Yeah.
Jake.
Once these guys move their stupid scooter out the way, we can look at the bike again.
Okay. Jake, they didn't do anything wrong by putting their scooter there.
No, they're stupid scooter.
Oh, okay.
Because
They're-
that's a
they're
stupid
not
scooter.
stupid.
Yeah, that scooter sucks. It's one of those Newell, you know?
Oh, yeah,
And look,
that
it's got
sucks.
one of those, let's keep warm in the winter by basically making a hazard. You know what I mean?
I've seen those backfire in Taiwan actually, but the rain versions
Yes.
that drape over the whole suit and it goes.
Not only that, but that like makes you constricted.
I know.
And you can get tangled in that and get stuck and go flying to like
They can't afford a car like
Yeah.
a lot of Chinese people, and I get that, and it's good because in a way. Because if every person in China had a car, it wouldn't move. The
No.
whole road would
It's really bad.
would just not move.
I'm just saying that if you want to be warm riding a bike or a motorcycle, wear a freaking jacket and gloves.
yes.
Don't put that weird draping stuff that constricts you. Like if you sit on that by mistake, imagine you turn a corner and your butt's on that thing and you try to turn back
on
and
to your
you
butts.
can't. But you can't because it's snagged.
Yeah.
You're done, bro.
Yes.
As an avid rider, just
Can we
had
get
to say
back?
it.
Can we go back to the super chats?
Yes, we can. Let's
All
do it.
Jacob Redmond, thank you very much. Magneto Twister, any cultural habits you adopted while living abroad? And yes, both of us did. We count the Chinese way.
Yeah, like this.
And I do this to people now, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, what are you, island style?
What are
Because
you-
that's 6, you know?
Shaka.
Yeah, exactly. Shaka Island style. You got all these different things.
Yeah. So basically, this
You
is
know, like
one-
this is 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell everyone.
Yeah, but don't do that to certain people because it looks like you're like, you're doing some, like one of those
I think
things.
it looks like you're trying to be Italian.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you
got some
You give me a
pasta.
7, you know?
You give them a you say a 7, but you do this. Like
yeah,
that,
exactly. Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like you would, right?
Yeah.
But this is 6 in Chinese, and it's amazing. Something China does better than everywhere else is counting on one hand,
Yeah.
because you can go all the way up to 10. You got set. You do this for 7?
You could do, that's 8.
Yeah, but this is 8 where I lived. So this is
Chi-
7. This is 8.
this is 7. This is 8.
Okay.
7.
By the way, this is
7,
This is
8.
regional
Yes.
in China as well.
This is 7 in the south where
Yeah.
I lived, and then 8 is this.
In the north, this was 7. This was 8.
Yeah.
And then this is 9.
9 is like this, and then 10 is just a
and this
fist.
is 10. Or you can do this, depending on where you
Yeah,
are.
yeah. And this also means 10.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I went in to go buy some beers in this place, and I took the beers out of the fridge and I put them down on the counter. And of course, I couldn't speak. This is early days. Couldn't speak the language. I was like, "How much?" And they went like this to me. And I thought they meant, well, they don't want to sell
Get
to
outta
me.
here. No
'cause-
foreigners
they're like-
allowed.
they went like this, and I was like, okay, fine. I left them on the counter and walked out. I was like, okay. Yeah, but they meant 10 RMB.
10.
Yeah, that's one of those things. You know what else I picked up is this tapping on the table thing.
Yes, to say thank you.
Yeah, when people, if someone pours a drink for you, you do this
Or
tapping
gives you
thing.
a drink.
Yeah,
You
that's-
tap on the table.
It's usually while
No,
during the
I'm
pour.
saying, but like if somebody initially gave you a drink, you could do that too to
Yeah,
say thanks.
and that comes from this story of an emperor traveling incognito, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't want anyone to know, and his guards that were around him, they would always have to bow whenever he said anything or in his presence type thing. But he had to pretend he was a commoner, so he actually poured tea, and because he was pouring tea for his guards, the only way they could show respect and pretend to bow is to like bow with their fingers. You know, to do this. It's hard to see on to do this. So this kind of in the south of China, they do this a lot. If someone's pouring tea for you, you tap your fingers on the table like this.
Or beer.
Or beer, yeah. And that basically just shows respect that you're bowing down to whoever's doing it,
I
saying
still
thank
do
you.
that. I
Yeah,
still
I
do
do it
that.
all the time. That's what we picked up, yeah.
Ruby R. Agagon says, big support of the show. Why is that mainstream media hasn't picked up on the California lab? I think they did because we got the information from
Well,
mainstream media.
no, but it just didn't
It was-
pick up like it should have.
Yeah, but it was on CNN.
Yeah, but
it was on
it-
BBC.
you know,
it was
it's
on
just like-
Reuters. It was on
Exactly,
AP.
but like everything else, it just didn't get the airtime that most things, like something that big you would expect.
I suppose I would say it got
It
less.
like it appeared like it did go into mainstream media, but
Yeah,
it just
on
didn't
every
get pushed.
publication.
Didn't get pushed.
on every publication.
Doesn't
I
matter.
saw
It didn't get pushed.
Okay.
It didn't. I agree because like it's such a huge important topic. You would think that
I
it would
was.
be.
Can I? Let
Yeah,
me finish.
all right.
What I was going to say is I think the media response was fine. It wasn't being restricted. There's not some major hand pulling
Sure.
strings on this. It was on every publication. My point was the government response, I think, was lacking.
Oh yeah, big time.
That's what I am confused about. I'm not confused about the media response. It was on every media publication.
Yeah, but it just wasn't.
wasn't
pushed.
censored.
But it wasn't pushed.
What is pushed?
Pushed means like there'll be a news story that comes out, right? Whatever it might be. Let's just say I don't freaking know. Like some store gets ransacked or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That goes into various publications, right? But then it appears in the publications the next day. And then opinion pieces are written about that particular thing. Then it gets spread on social media. Then it appears in the news
I
again.
saw it everywhere.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It didn't get that kind of push.
Okay.
It really didn't.
I saw it everywhere. I
Well,
don't.
Maybe that's because it's your job.
Yeah, but that,
But like most people,
it was on the front page of Google News.
yeah, it was on the front page of Google News for a day.
Yeah, I see.
And then it was
man.
gone.
Well, that shows public interest. Didn't give
Yeah,
a shit.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
there is no public interest. At
Yeah.
least there's a lot of things that I'm certainly not interested in, but they keep getting pushed.
Yeah.
Regardless,
Sure,
because
sure.
they get more airtime. They get more. There's more behind it.
Yeah.
And I think a big topic like that needed that push.
Sure.
They needed opinion
I just don't want
pieces.
people to think there's some like massive censorship board
It's
that
not-
was like, no,
it's not
don't
censorship.
Talk about that.
It's not censorship. It's just a lack of a certain topic being like pushed.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's this artificial push you get behind certain topics.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that there's artificial push behind certain topics. I
And
don't
this
want
this particular one needed
I
to
think-
have that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess
Because it actually it's
important.
It's very important. Unlike whatever the hairstyle of some stupid
Right, celebrity or whatever.
you know.
Yeah, I agree with that. What I will say though is I don't want to fall into this trap of, and I don't want to be disingenuous to our audience and say that there's some massive conspiracy behind
Sure, I'm not saying that.
everything about media not doing this and that. It's
Sure.
Always keep in mind that your algorithm is feeding you what you're supposed to see or what they think
I
you
get
want to
that,
see,
yes.
right?
But the thing is, I get pushed a lot of garbage I don't want to see.
Absolutely.
And I wish they would have pushed that one because
But
I didn't see it.
I acknowledge that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not all conspiracy. Sometimes.
No, and I'm not saying it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Big support of the show, though, and we love Ruby Aragon.
Yeah, thank you.
Shift starts in 30 minutes. He apparently wore his T-shirt, China Show T-shirt, to work. And what?
Don't say
happened-
where he works.
No, I didn't.
Okay, right. Yeah.
But apparently, someone told him not to wear it again, and he did.
Oh, good.
And there is a joke
power
because
to
he's
you.
going to get the hoodie.
Oh, he's gonna get the hoodie, right?
The joke is amongst our community that he needs to go back to this place of work
Mm-hmm.
and wear the hoodie. And when that person tells him to take it off, because they told him the first time,
Yeah.
underneath is the China Show T-shirt.
So he's gonna take the hoodie off, but the t-shirt's gonna be underneath. I can't wait for that to happen. That has to happen. Yeah. Yeah.
This is not an Oyster Perpetual. There's a lot of debate that people are thinking I'm wearing an Oyster Perpetual.
No, dude, that's like
I
a Spencer.
wish. Can I say I wish?
Yeah.
This is a Citizen. It's very,
Citizen
very,
Soyosa.
very cheaper than the. I would say
like a
about
fraction.
100 times cheaper.
It's
than
a fraction
Rolex.
of the cost. It's a very nice watch. I like it. I think it's funky. It's
I
got a
wouldn't
great
say
color.
it's nice. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's a fun.
watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like from
Definitely have nicer feeling watches, even at the same price point. But it's
Yeah.
fun. It looks fun. It's
Yeah.
yellow. He says, "I was hoping that we're hoping Den could find the Sork of Imagine."
Oh, this guy?
Where I can find the soul imagination.
He's still looking, dude.
Is he still looking?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Oh, people are asking about your watch.
Oh, this is a Timex Marlin.
Yeah.
It's actually this is a Christmas gift I got from Sea Milk.
Yes, we did early Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
I would wear your Christmas gift, but we're waiting because it's kind of special.
Yeah.
To show you, I mean.
Sure,
We're waiting
yeah.
to show you guys.
Yeah.
Norman Fair says, your benign tumor made me think that you like horror movies and you should check out Tony Curtis classic The Manitou about a woman with a back lump. Norman, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I appreciate you reminding me to tell you guys, please check out my new video. It's pretty important.
Yep.
Tumor aside, I have some very important messaging in said video. Would appreciate it if you checked it out.
Yeah, go check it out.
The algorithm's slaughtering that video. Atlantean Guard says, I've started to get junk mail from Shenyun, China before communism. You just
Dude.
now? You
Dude,
just started?
You cannot
cannot
escape it. No.
You cannot escape Shenyun.
It's so freaking annoying. And I mean, I like the idea behind showcasing, you know, Chinese culture and stuff before the communism destroyed it. But I don't know if Shenyun's the right way.
I mean, whatever.
Go
see
enjoy
it. If
it.
you like it, it's fine.
If you like watching very talented dancers, I might add. But if you like watching talented dancers in front of a Windows XP background, that's awesome.
I think it's great if you like that stuff.
Yes.
Yes, it is Falun Gong.
Yeah.
I originally hated Long Ping, but after I started singing along to it, every time I played, I became a believer.
You hated Long Pig?
Makes me irritate at the mutilation of pig bang.
Really, what I would say to that is it's very simple. You didn't become a fan of Long Pig. You became a fan of the original Taiwanese song. because that's literally a rip-off of
It is.
Taiwanese
It is a
song.
Taiwanese song she copied and just
Which is
made
actually a good song.
stupid lyrics to it. Yeah.
Long Log says, hello, big fan of the show. First off, Winston, dapper as always.
Thank you.
Simok, is that at Tsuyosa?
Yes.
It is. Citizen Tsuyosa in the yellow sunburst dome.
I think that's the best color. Let's be honest.
I think it's the only color.
It's the only color you should have that watching.
There's actually a lot of good colors, but I think some of them are a little too close to a Rolex ripoff for me.
Yeah.
But this one's unique.
Yeah, and it's great. I love Japanese watches. I like them the most.
I'm a Swiss guy, but I do like a couple Japanese watches.
Yeah, Seiko Citizens, especially the vintage stuff. My new hobby is buying broken old Seiko watches and fixing them up.
Yes.
So like I've got a couple of chronograph broken and I managed to get them running sort of. But I really like the old 70s style. Some of them are hideous, like horrible, but there's some that are really
You
nice.
have some really ugly ones.
I got some
nice ones too.
I got some of the most ugliest watches in the world, but I bought them because they were really cheap and easy to learn how to service.
You remind me of the what is that movie? It's like that Christmas movie. It's stop motion from the 60s or 70s.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
One of those, and it's like the home of like broken toys.
Yeah, home of broken watches.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fun. But Citizen's a great brand, and that Tsuyosa I think is you bang for buck is amazing.
Yes. Recommendations for historians or other modern Chinese history to read. There's plenty. If you go on Google, actually, I did this for someone the other day. There's somebody made this blog post. You'll find it about modern Chinese history sources. If you go to people's personal recommendations as opposed to Chinese government websites, you'll find a ton. Elstarm Kerr says, Merry Christmas to both of you, families, Long Pig. Can you stop with the Long Pig, guys? Merry Christmas.
Oh, wait. Where's Long Pig?
Makes me irritate at the mission of
Island of Misfit Toys, that's right.
Yes, that's right. And you know what? That whole thing should say makes me irritated at the mere mention of Long Pig for you.
For me.
Yeah, I'll do it one more time.
Makes me irritate at the mission of pig.
Stanislav Tus.
Chus?
Someone named thank you very much.
do you
Isn't
spell it?
Stanislav no, it's Tuss.
Tuss.
Stanislav is the name of a good composer, isn't it?
Borislav.
That's Borislav Slavov.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Most
of Slavs.
Slavish name ever.
The guy that directed the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack, even if you don't play the game,
it's
he is
amazing.
a great
Amazing.
composer.
Yes.
Amazing.
I love the Raphael's song.
It's insane. It's like
So
a
good.
Disney
Villain.
or like a Broadway show.
Yeah.
Hell. It's like very
Hell
villainous.
has its
but-
wars. Yeah. Here comes the claw.
Sean O'Sullivan, what can we do for the new woof? No, stop.
What?
There's no new pandemic. Magneto Twister says, thoughts on San Francisco removing homeless for she but not the U.S.? I think we're very clear at the motivation of certain people.
Yeah, that was lame that they did that. Oh, we're going to clean up the streets only because the
It shows you how
dictator's
much-
coming.
It shows you how much sway China has in certain places.
But look, it's not out of the ordinary for if there's a big event happening in a city
that's
for them to kind of clean up.
Yeah, it's true. I don't want to get all conspiracy.
You know, like that's like if they were going to have the Boston Marathon or something,
Yeah,
they'd
that's
probably
true.
like, all
That's
right,
true.
move along, people. This is where people are going to be.
You're right.
So-
You're right. It's just bad optics. Really.
Yeah, it is.
Charles Womack says, any news about the whole Uyghur genocide? Appears the CCP has been successful in keeping it out of the news. I don't think they're successful in keeping it out of the news. I think it was a topic for a couple of years that was very strong. I think now what's happened is China's successfully maintained secrecy in China, and there's no more leaks.
And they've
anymore.
pretty much, they've taken every Uyghur that's possible and disappeared them and re-educated them. So
Yeah.
they've achieved their goal. They've wiped out the ethnic customs.
Yes.
You know, the religious practices, the mosques are gone. Everything has been changed to Chinese, version of it. So they've kind of achieved their goal, let's be honest.
I would
They've
agree,
suppressed,
I would agree with you. I would
suppressed
agree with
and
you.
erased a huge cultural part of that ethnic minority.
I would agree with you.
And it can never come back.
Augusto Brancho, the homeless Reddit guy, is confused with Confucianism with a confusing communism. Rumrunner
Yes,
says, I'm relieved
yes.
to see you guys together after Seamilk's last video, where he said a benign but painful tumor has gotten under his skin, so he had to cut it out. I thought he meant he fired Winston.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty good. That's a
Yeah.
good anti-coup propaganda.
It's all right. We'll see if I bring him on next week or not.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm still. We're working out a contract deal.
Yeah, so far, this is your trial period.
Pleb says, I picked up the bike once, but then I got leprosy.
What?
DJM. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody says, how can AG1 vitalize you without the rare Yangtze turtle nose and tiger pubes. Where does this fake virility come? He's talking about Chinese medicine, how
Right,
ridiculous
right.
it can be.
Yeah.
Brian Kane says, I know that Tencent has a share in Spotify, so